Turbo. What's up, Alex?
Hey everybody. Hey Teddy.
Oh, hey guys. Yeah, can't forget about you. All right. So this is Turbo Zone.
Turbo Zone.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Turtle Zone. That's a
No,
different place.
or the Danger Zone. It's
Or the Danger.
Yes, very different.
Or Kenny Loggins.
Yes,
So.
although that's mandatory shout-out material. What are we doing today? Why are we here?
We are going to review Donkey Kong Country.
Right, Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong, man.
Yeah, why Donkey Kong Country? What makes this game stand out and, such a good choice for our first video review?
Well, I guess on a more personal note, it's a really, I don't know, it's like one of my favorite platformers of all time. And I feel like it's just an all-out classic.
Sure, I'm right there with you. I remember growing up is one of my first platformers I played, and it stood with me throughout the years, even after a long respite. But I still come back to it, and I play it on occasion. I think you get into it more than I do.
Yeah. I come into this game like once every 1 or 2 months. I just run through this game. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and I wish I was on that kind of schedule. I'd really be able to just chong through it or kong through it. But I do enjoy the moments that I get out of it. So why is this such a memorable game? Why is it so special?
Well, for me personally, I want to give a little backstory real fast. Back whenever I was younger, my mother would go to like a fitness gym, and at this gym they always had like a little daycare center. And at the daycare center, they had like a Super Nintendo set up, and they had like 3 games. Like they had like Jungle Book, something else I don't know what it was, and Donkey Kong Country. So I spent a lot of time in there playing Donkey Kong Country, and it's kind of stuck with me. So I guess over the years, it's just become like one of those games that just reminds me of like one of my earliest memories of gaming. And I don't know, it's just, it's just something else to me. I don't know what's your
My backstory? No,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I mean, you have some kind of going to the store and getting some hands-on time with it kind of experience. For me, it was more like I just had a Game Boy Color, and I guess I had Donkey Kong Land, so that's kind of like a scaled-down version of the game. But the core experience is mostly similar. And I just remember that it was a real pain in the ass at times, but other times it just flows really nice. And it's just such a fun, enjoyable game, and it's really addicting, and it makes you want to keep playing. And I feel like there's a lot of things that have really stuck with me, like the characters, the setting, and the music. There's all types of things that stemmed from this game that have kind of, I guess, they've been emblematic of the company responsible for them. And
this game brought a lot to the table, and it's really, if you think about the DK license before this game, it was mostly based on the arcade stuff. And this game kind of like revitalized it, and it's been like this since. It's been the same setup. So
that's a great way of putting it, because I don't think it didn't try to imitate the arcade experience. I mean, you don't even have things like time limits or high scores to go for, but you see that it kind of is like an evolution of the platforming. There's even kind of I guess hidden notes that kind of strike a chord with the old style games, like barrels getting thrown at you and you have to dodge the barrels, or swinging from the vines. There's a lot that is they're minimal details, but they also kind of speak truth to the source material.
Yeah, I say definitely. I'd say that, and the art style is also something else that really, especially for the time, it was pretty mind blowing. How the game looked with its 3D rendered graphics and such.
Right. Yeah. The not mode 7.
Not mode 7.
No.
I think it was Silicon Graphics is what we used to make that. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. And the soundtrack. Oh man, the soundtrack's really great.
Yeah, definitely. I really appreciate the level of variety in there. You see a lot of different ideas and concepts, and just throwing new curveballs at you at what you can expect next. And in general, the difficulty of each level kind of intensifies, so it becomes like a gradually more challenging experience within each level, and as the game goes on too. So you can always look forward to something new and exciting. And like you're saying, the art style and the music, they really just enhance the flow and overall experience.
Yeah, and what really sets this game apart from platformers at the time, I feel, is it's like you said, the flow of the game just flows really nice. Because you think about it, you had like your Mario, which was, Mario plays great. Take Mario World, it plays fantastic, but it's still not at the same point where you can kind of get into this groove. You still have to do like your basic Mario A to B platforming, and then there was say Sonic, which was all about speed. Country kind of like meets in the middle, to where you can kind of play it any way you want to. You could play it more like a Mario, or you can play it more like a Sonic, or I guess a Bubsy. I don't know who plays Bubsy, but just play it more like whatever kind of platform you want, because it's that accessible. It's really cool. So
100%, I agree, and I know we were talking about how, this game wasn't exactly a response to anything, but it does sort of play on the themes of those popular platformers of the time. I can definitely see the influence of Sonic in there. There's a lot of secrets within the levels, and, there is a general sense of speed. Even Donkey Kong rolls, just like Sonic spins.
yeah.
So there are some themes in there, and even with the Mario, you get a one-up when you hop on a bunch of enemies. I was just playing through one of the levels where there's like 8 crocodiles in a row, and I got a balloon for an extra life. So I mean, it's cool how it's a throwback, but it's very much its own thing, and I definitely think that it's got that signature Rareware style to it, where you really feel the goofiness. You're playing as a couple of apes in a jungle in a factory setting against these evil crocodiles, and going in mine carts and swimming through an ocean. I don't know where they come up with this stuff, but I mean, their humor is great, and the story in general. I'm sorry to interrupt you here. The story, is ridiculous. I mean, a crocodile steals a bunch of bananas, but they even kind of play, jokes on the fact, like even with some of the boss battles. I know I'm talking about a ton of stuff here, but there's like an oil drum in one level. Like, you're fighting an oil drum that's just stomping down, and then when you beat it, Cranky comes and talks to you and says, "Yeah, who put that in the game?" So there's a lot of cool commentary, within the game.
Heck, even the last boss fight like fakes you out. It's like, you're not done yet. Keep going.
Yeah, that's a great one. But speaking of the boss fights, I feel like they're kind of all over the place. They go from, easy to average, back to easy to like stupidly difficult, and then I guess, a hearty challenge at the end there. What do you feel about that? Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like you could definitely see where Rare put their focus, which is on the levels.
Right.
Because the boss fights, they aren't the greatest, but they're not bad per se. They're just not the focus, and and that's fine, because they really just use the end, the I guess the chapter of the world, that you're in, to move on to the next one. So it's really not that bad. It is kind of lazy that they they reused a few of them throughout the game. That's kind of meh, but other than that, I don't find them to be that bad. I like revisiting some of them. Like, I like the big vulture that like spits the rocks at you. It's like, and you have to jump on its head. It's funny, but other than that, I don't really think they're that bad.
Definitely, I think they play well into, I guess, the speed running aspect of the game, as you were saying. You can kind of just go through it, and even those harder ones will still give you a challenge. So, I mean, I like them, and I definitely agree they're not the focus of this game, but they do add a bit of that charm. Like, you're fighting a giant beaver, or the oil can, or I mean, we all know what the last boss is, but it's still memorable. It's funky, and it's got style. So I can definitely deal with it there. Yeah.
It's funky, and it has funky. So
yeah, exactly. Funky's great in there.
I mean, and like what sells the game is of course Diddy Kong.
Oh, guaranteed. Yeah, Diddy Kong says hi.
Diddy Kong was one of the at the time he was like Nintendo's, I guess, newest character's attitude would be Diddy Kong, because he had his cool funky hat on and whatnot. It was pretty.
Yeah, definitely.
He's pretty.
He's
cool
guy.
very 90s.
Definitely.
He's a very 90s character.
Yeah, they got some great anthropomorphic characters in there. I mean, between the two, Donkey and Diddy, who is your go-to character? Do you feel like they kind of play well together?
That's something that is really that's a really good question, because like I feel like you need both of them. Definitely if you want to access the secrets, because like Donkey's not as fast. Donkey's can't jump as high, but he can pack a punch. He can take a lot more. But Diddy, on the other hand, he's faster and he can jump higher, but he's also pretty weak. Yeah. So I feel like they like balance themselves out. As opposed to like playing. I guess I don't know if you've ever seen anything, but on Country 2, where you have Diddy and Dixie, I don't feel like they really balance out that much, because they're both kind of small characters. So I feel like this game really has a nice balance between both the characters.
Sure, it's a nice twist, and I think it really does add to that sense of gameplay variety. And both are made for certain situations to really help you get through the game. So I mean, I definitely like that. I think it does add to the game's style, the tag team thing, and it even kind of relates to the Sonic and Tails kind of mentality, I guess.
Yeah, only Diddy's far more useful. Than
Oh,
Tails,
definitely.
So.
Yes.
Diddy never gets in your way, so that's good. But I don't know, and I also feel like one really strong element in this game is the progression of the like levels. Because first you start out at the simple jungle levels, and then you move on to like some mines, which are kind of more advanced, and you move on to like the city in the jungle, which is cooler. And then you move on to like the factory and the snow. You know, it's kind of like it keeps progressing like to like more and more civilized things. To you end up at the end with the pirate ship. But it's cool how it goes from like a jungle all the way to like these other, I guess, more civilized environments.
Yeah, it is very creative, it's memorable, and I think it does, add a lot to the experience. In general, there's a certain tone to this game, and the music kind of changes throughout, but it definitely it sets a kind of feeling that you get when you play. Like sometimes it's kind of mysterious, sometimes it's kind of exciting. Like the jungle music, and even the hub world music. It really just makes you feel in the zone. That's one of my most memorable themes from the game. Although I think every theme just works so well in this game, and it's not even they don't feel like that simple I guess chip style that you'd expect from the 16-bit games.
Oh yeah, they have like a very jazzy feel to them. It feels very, very, like it's very orchestrated, and it feels nice. It's just a nice game to like I guess wrap up in a blanket on a day, on a cold Saturday, and then just play this game all day. It's a lot of fun, and and the music kind of like sets you in this like very relaxed tone. And like even if the game does get a little tough, I feel like the music kind of balances that out in a nice way. Of course, we can't forget about the animal buddies. I wanted to bring that up.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You can't forget about them because they are really a I guess. Well, first off, they're a staple in kind of playing the game to your own advantage because you can always hop back on them if you can catch them in time. But they also they help you get to new areas, and they add some charm. It's fun to just ride the rhinoceros or even the swordfish. Those aqua levels would be terrible without the swordfish.
Is it sad that I know their names?
Oh, do you? Oh, please enlighten me.
We have Rambi the rhino.
Right, of course.
We have Espresso the ostrich.
Oh my gosh.
We have On Guard the swordfish.
Beautiful.
And I always forget the frog. That's the only one I forget is the frog.
Yeah, I wish I had the manual. I would be right there with you.
But man, yeah, I know the other ones. I love the fact that the ostrich wears tennis shoes. That's my favorite thing.
Oh, that's great.
So, but yeah, it's definitely just a classic game. There's really nothing bad I can say about the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be little details that really just kind of distort the experience. The one thing that really threw me off is actually just one of the bonus, concepts. You can get 3 trophies, and if you get the 3 trophies, you go into this zone where you just collect a bunch of stars, and they can give you extra lives. I don't have a problem with that. I actually like the, massive collect everything within 100 seconds kind of mentality. But once you get in there, it'll I'm not saying it beautifully, but once you get into that zone and finish it, it'll throw you right back to the checkpoint or right in the beginning of the level, and that just throws it off if you're in like one of those more difficult areas and you didn't even want to pick up this trophy.
True, I guess, but then again, I feel like they're not that hard to avoid in the game, so sure. I feel like that's not really
like
too
I said,
big
it's a small detail. It's worth overlooking because of what you get in the end.
But you know what's also really cool about this game? The multiplayer.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because it has 2 modes of multiplayer. It has the competitive mode where you kind of play against each other to see how far you can get, and then you have the co-op mode where one person plays Diddy and one person plays Donkey. That's a really cool aspect because most games at the time, either had either or. Like Sonic had co-op or Mario had competitive. This game kind of had both, so you can play it whichever way you want to play it.
Right. So that definitely is a great experience, and I'm sad to say I haven't gotten to experience that with the Super Nintendo. But I mean, I feel like this game is really well suited for a handheld, especially the Game Boy Advance. I don't know. I know Donkey Kong King of Swing also came out on that, and I mean, even the Game Boy Advance version is almost a near identical facsimile of the Super Nintendo game. So it's really impressive what they can, and that they're first off that they're even paying attention to the game and giving it love. and second, that they can even pull it off on the hardware.
Well, speaking of paying attention, though, recent years we've seen the Country Series come back, so
right.
that's
And
something.
I know you're saying you're a fan of that. Would you want to explain what makes that game, so I guess enjoyable for you?
I'm a fan of Returns. I'm not really too big of a fan of Tropical Freeze. I thought it was all right, but I feel like I don't really want to get into a in-depth summary of the game.
Of course.
But I feel like it keeps a lot of the spirit of the original.
Sure.
So if you say you watch this review and you're looking for a pretty good sequel that you can get your hands on pretty easily, I would say go for Returns also.
Right. And 3DS versus Wii version.
Wii version all the way. 3DS version, I have both and I've beat both, and I had a lot more fun on Wii. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Just playing it on the 3DS just doesn't do it service.
Sure. I mean, you know what it is? I think, well, in my opinion, is that you're playing with the analog stick, and that kind of just, it makes it weird.
Yeah, that probably is what it is.
Yeah.
But I don't other than that, I don't really have much else I really wanted to cover here. It's just all around a fantastic classic game.
Definitely, it's a classic, and I think it definitely deserves all the attention and praise that it gets, and I love giving it more.
So
Yeah, definitely. And I did have one, silly little question to end on here. If Nintendo or Rare or whatever company was going to bring back this series and make a little spin-off game, is there anything you'd want to see for it?
I see a spin-off.
Sure.
Let's see. I want to see a kart racing game based on Rambi the Rhino.
Very
give
good.
Me that.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, ride on animals. It'd be like a little...
maybe a tennis game.
Yeah, just the Kong families, or a Kong Sims or something.
Kong Sims. We could do a RTS.
Nice, yeah, that would be pretty. Just a million Kongs, like going up against
the Kongs versus the Kremlings.
Yes, that would be amazing. That'd be a great concept. Personally, I was thinking of more of like a roller coaster tycoon with the mine carts kind of thing.
That'd be cool.
I don't know. That's just a silly idea, but I mean, it would be interesting.
That'd be neat. We didn't touch upon the mine carts, man. We forgot about that.
Oh my gosh! I mean, you can't forget about the mine carts.
That is so iconic. That is like one of the most iconic levels in gaming.
Yeah, and I think there's only a few of them in the whole game, but the ones that you do play, there's a high replay value to them. You get some enjoyment out of just that sense of like, I guess it's on rails almost. Well, technically it is because the car's on rails.
On rails.
Yeah, but it works really nicely, and it does add to the flow of the game, and it's got it is very signature for Rareware, to throw in something like that.
So I guess do you want to wrap this thing up here?
Yeah, let's go ahead. I mean, we've been talking for a minute. Thanks to everyone at home checking it out. This is our first collab review. Let us know what you thought. If you want to see more of these, and look forward to more Turbo Zone reviews.
All right. Well, I guess it's Alex signing out. I'll see you guys later.
All right, and Ted, take care. Thank you, and always remember, take a ride into the Turbo Zone.
Turbo Zone.
Turbo Zone.